Hey my pretties, it's me, the Shadow the Lion Queen, and today we are going to be doing something a little different. Today I am going to be making spaghetti for pretty much me and my brother. So, with that being said and that being the case, I'm going to follow through and walk you through on how to make spaghetti. I might do more of these if this video does get a lot of attention. So, let's begin. Now, don't mind the mess of the kitchen, but what you're going to need is ingredients first. So first of all, you're going to need spaghetti. You don't have to use spaghetti. You can use any kind of pasta you want. This is just what I'm doing. And then you're going to need some spaghetti sauce. You can use any kind of spaghetti sauce, but I'm using this brand called Bravo because that's what me and my brother like. And you're going to use this. This is going to be for spaghetti, and I'm going to be showing you why I use this. You don't have to use this. You could use salt or any kind of oil, but sunflower oil is pretty good. And next, you're going to need your ground beef, as you can see here. You don't have to use this kind of ground beef. You could use whatever you like. It literally is ultimately up to you. So once you have that, I'll be showing you what you need. So the next thing you're going to need is a big pot of water, which I use this one because it's easier. And you're going to want to turn the heat on right here. I mean, everyone's stoves is different, so there's that. And I use this for the meat, so let me get the meat and we'll continue. So the next thing what you're going to do is you're going to have to prepare this meat right here. It's best you thaw this. So it's best you thaw this before. You could do it frozen, but it will just take longer to thaw. So what you're going to do is you want to take scissors and cut open this spaghetti meat. And you're going to want to put it in the pot right here. So let me just do that. And you can use any kind of meat. You don't have to use what I used. I mean, you could use sausage, you could use chicken, whatever you like to do. So as you can see here, my meat, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's in here. So I'm gonna put it on the stove and I'll get back to you. So I'm going to try and do this with one hand, but once you have the meat in here, grab your spoon, spatula, or whatever. You could use whatever you want. You don't have to use what I'm using, but you just want to break up the ground beef just so it can cook evenly. So that's what you're going to want to do, is you want to do that. I usually do this before I turn the stove on, just to get it all in there. So as you can see here, I'm trying to, kind of do this, in one hand, so I'm gonna need something to hold this, but that's what you do. And what I'm gonna do is, you see right here, I'm gonna put it up to 4. You could put it onto any kind of heat, but if you want to, like if you're gonna have this in a little while, I recommend you put it on low. If you're gonna want it now around here, don't do it too high because then the meat will burn, and you do not want that. So, yeah. So when the meat is boiling, what you're going to want to do is, well, not boiling, but cooking, is you want to flip the hamburger meat, like the raw side over, just so that way you got to stir this like at least a couple of times until everything is all brown. So we will be coming back to this once this is all cooked. So there's that. Now, since the water is boiling right now, as you could tell, I'm going to be adding this. You can use any kind of oil, like I said before. You don't have to use the oil that I'm using, but if you want to go ahead and use olive oil or something, you can do it. Or if you want to prefer to use salt, you can. And as you can see here, I poured some in there. And then what I do is I get a fork and I give this a quick stir just so the oil is all over the pot. Just so that way it's all covered. And then we're going to go and add on the spaghetti. Now that I have the spaghetti, you could use any kind of pasta you want to put in your bowl. But for people who want to make spaghetti, this is what you do. Grab a handful of this and you crack it like that. And you put it in the pot. So I'm going to be adding this a little more because it's just me and my brother eating. So I just want to make sure that there is enough. So depending on how many people you have and are feeding, the portions can be bigger, but bigger portions take longer to cook. So that is something to be mindful of. So once your pasta is in, what you're going to want to do is you want to use the spaghetti to stir it, just so the spaghetti or pasta, whatever pasta you're using, is not all clumped together, if that makes sense. So that's what I do, is use this knife and the fork and do that. You don't have to use the same knife I'm using. You could use whatever. It really depends, and it's all depending on what you're comfortable with. So once your meat is fully cooked like this, you're gonna go ahead and add your sauce. Well, I also turned the heat thing down. So yeah, get all that in there. And I'm gonna have to use a spoon to get the rest of it out because, you know, I can't do this with 2 hands. If I had 4 hands, yeah, that would be no problem. So yeah. So once your meat's in there, you're gonna go ahead and stir this in. So like I'm doing now, I'm stirring this in, and make sure it gets all coated, every single piece of meat. And then you let it cook while you're waiting for your spaghetti. When you are done your spaghetti, you are going to be draining it in the strainer. So I'm going to be showing you. Let me just try to get this like that. And I'll be showing you how I strain it. So you're going to want to turn the stove off. And you're going to want your spaghetti. Now, do it away from you, because you don't want any water to splash and hit you like that. And as you see here, my glasses are foggy. Okay, and if you do end up with strands of spaghetti, if I can find it, let's see. If you do have strands of spaghetti, you can use a fork or whatever, and you can get this out. And when you are done, you can go ahead and serve. So once you have added the spaghetti from there, and then add the sauce and mix it in, if you do have Parmesan cheese, You can sprinkle some on it if you want to. Not saying it's required or anything, but if you want to go ahead and Parmesan cheese, you're more than welcome to do so. Now we've got my spaghetti. We're going to go ahead and take a taste test. It is going to be hot, so be sure you do so. Anyways. It's really good. So with that being said, that's how you make spaghetti. So anyways, like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, if you want me to do more of these videos, let me know. And I'll see you all next time. What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video. And I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, stay pretty.